Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kirsten Affleck, and today I want to talk about something that every student at University of Alabama feels, but most of us don't actually get the chance to address. The pressure to keep pushing, even when our minds are telling us to slow down. My presentation is called Pause with a Purpose, Mandatory Mental Health Days at UA. And I just want to start with one simple idea. Sometimes the most responsible thing a student can do is stop just long enough to breathe, rest, reset, and get back up stronger. Let's be real about what college students are facing right now. The numbers are honestly pretty brutal. According to the American College Health Association, 77% of college students report moderate to serious psychological distress. That's not just a few people having a rough week. That's the majority of students on every campus in the country. And 35% say stress is hurting their academic performance, not just making things harder, not just interfering a little, actually damaging grades. Another study found that students with poor mental health are 1.6 times more likely to have a GPA under a 2.0, and they're twice as likely to drop out altogether. When over half of students report dealing with a mental health issue in college, we can't pretend this is an individual problem anymore. This is a campus-wide issue. At that point, it stops being about time management or self-care, and it becomes a structural problem with a structural solution. So what's the solution I'm proposing? Mandatory mental health days built directly into the university calendar. And just to be clear, mental health days are not the same as sick days. Sick days depend on documentation, doctor's notes, and sometimes even the professor's personal judgment. Mental health days operate totally differently. These days would be pre-scheduled, university-wide pauses, just like holidays. No excuses, no paperwork, no having to explain yourself. Everyone gets the same day off, and it's built into the semester ahead of time. The point isn't to let people skip responsibilities, it's to prevent burnout before it hits, not after it's already done damage. So what actually happens on a mental health day? Honestly, it can look like whatever a student needs, but the university can also make these days meaningful by offering optional, low-pressure wellness experience. Think about things like guided meditation sessions, free yoga or fitness classes at the rec center, therapy dogs on the quad, drop-in counseling or stress workshops, or even a campus-wide unplugged day challenge where everybody gets a break from their screens. None of these are mandatory. They're simply opportunities to reset, connect, or take care of yourself in a way you usually don't have time for. Imagine a day where the campus actually feels calm. No rushing to class, no Blackboard notification blowing up our phones, no guilt for giving ourselves a moment. One of the strongest parts of this idea is that students aren't put in the position of having to prove they need rest. We all know how exhausting it is to justify why you're overwhelmed, especially when mental health struggles don't always show up on the outside. Mental health days work because everyone gets the same days off, and there's no documentation required. It's private, respectful, and it aligns with guidelines from Inside Higher Ed, which emphasizes that schools should protect student privacy when it comes to mental wellness. This model sends a clear message. The university trusts its students and recognizes that everybody deserves the chance to recharge. And the best part is that these days aren't just about feeling better, they actually help students perform better. Studies show that students with healthy mental states get higher grades, attend class more consistently, stay enrolled at higher rates. Schools with strong mental health programs see measurable improvements in retention. When students aren't running on empty, everything else, such as their focus, memory, and creativity, gets better. This is about building a culture where well-being isn't an afterthought. It's part of how the campus functions. Now, let's talk about why this matters specifically at Alabama. Over 70% of UA students report high levels of stress during midterms and finals. The UA Counseling Center hits record demand year after year, and they're doing great work, but they're stretched thin because the need is so high. This proposal lines up perfectly with UA's mission to support student success academically and personally. We talk about developing the whole student. Well, this is a direct way to do that. We can't expect students to thrive if we're not giving them the space to survive. So here's the ask. Implement 2 mental health days per semester. Just 2. Not a full week, not extra breaks scattered randomly, 2 intentional, dedicated pauses. This would involve partnering with the rec center, coordinating with the counseling center, working with Student Government Association, and promoting everything through a campaign called Pause with Purpose. It's simple, reasonable, and completely doable. At the end of the day, this is about investing in students, not just as learners, but as people. You can't pour from an empty cup, and right now a lot of students are running on only fumes. Mandatory mental health days would lower stress, boost academic success, and create a happier, healthier campus community. And they'd show students that UA values their well-being, not just in words, but in action. Thank you.